Your nature is love, life, and joy, and your momentary of it, which has never been lost, only mislaid, is about to be fully restored. As you let go of your belief in these limitations in which your human forms appear to enfold you, you are all unlimited beings, just like God, your ever-loving Father. But you totally engage with the game of separation, and as a result, with the limits that are a major aspect of it. Over the ages, holy ones, who have often been described or labeled as mystics, are merely ones who have delved deep within themselves, and by doing so, have become aware of their oneness with Source. Through that awareness, they have realized that their inner world at one with Source is the only reality, and that the physical world without is in fact unreal. It is but an individual and personal appraisal of what the person's brain believes that it perceives in the physical environment, seemingly outside itself. You can all find the truth within yourselves if you will take a regular quiet time alone, inviting God to fill your hearts with love. He is with you in every moment, and when you choose not to pay attention to the distractions with which your egos are constantly presenting you, and listen instead to the quiet voice of God within you, you will feel her love, and therefore know that you and He is eternally inseparable, that He is the one in whom you exist in eternal oneness. I am an angelic being of peaceful and restorative nature. I have 3 energetic tones in my heart vibrating: blue, white, and golden yellow. I am a live stream of Archangel Michael. As you know him, I can say I am a ray of his consciousness, if that makes it clearer to you. Just as you are incarnated on the planet and a ray of your higher self, I am a ray of Michael incarnated in this galactic garment. I am a manifestation of his own essence in this quadrant. My particular mission is to ensure your passage to the higher dimensions safely and peacefully. To ensure that your divine gifts are restored, as your sacred DNA is reactivated, and thanks to the higher power, we are succeeding because you have chosen to, which makes us happy. As a brother who has known the human trajectory since its infancy, I assure you that you have progressed in such a way that you have minimized, practically extinguished, the possibility of third cataclysm. For many of you who still vibrate on this possibility, we ask you, stop supporting this energy of battle and chaos. By doing so, you will be naturally led to live in the worlds where this still prevails. In any case, we are also heading there. Here on this planet, on this timeline that I'm addressing now, no more chaos. This has been said before, but we say it again. We will intervene firmly and lovingly to prevent this. We've already warned you world leaders to disable their chaos, or we will do it ourselves. We have authorization from the higher hierarchies to do so. Much of what is shown to you in your news reports is nothing more than a marketing play by those who always wish to keep you in fear. They do this to bring you into panic, and when you comply, you give them power. as you are becoming more and more expanded and more eager to remain in the higher frequencies, any less crystalline energy that comes to you is already perceived and felt. In a way, you already understand that lower frequencies are not very good or harmonious, which in the past it took time to understand and assimilate. So during this year, all the processes have triggered in you a visible increase in your sensitivity. Certainly, many will say that it has been a stressful year, an extremely exhausting year, in which nothing happened, everything remained stuck. But I want you to see it from another perspective now, and understand this year as the year that helped you expand your sensibilities. You now perceive more clearly and feel the level of energies, being able to look at yourselves more and know yourselves better. Knowing and understanding each other even more, and seeing that they also have pains like you, they are also seeking to free themselves. Everyone has literally been able to look more directly at their neighbor due to the inevitable coexistence in your homes with your relatives. Try to see from this point of view, all the experiences have flowed as programmed, even though everything seems out of control. Know that it is within another, and so chaotic as it may be or is being, the higher forces are working to make everything flow, and it will flow. You've already made it this far. You've gone through so many processes, and there is very little left until everything aligns even more. All this work and these experiences pushed you to look more at yourselves and what is inside you. You've become more aware of your bodies. You've become more careful and loving with them, and this is great. What a great opportunity to evaluate yourselves, because in the rush of your day life, you weren't having so much time to feel, see, and understand your own emotions. By doing so, they have been able to eradicate the ingrained and false beliefs within themselves that they were trained as children to accept and respect. This was a necessary step for humanity to take on its path back to awakening, and once taken collectively, as has happened, there can be no regression. This is why there has recently been, over the last several decades, such an intense acceleration in the growth of civil rights for all, no matter what their cultural, religious, or political persuasions may be. It is the realization that the fact of being born gives every individual an inalienable right to be and express herself in whatever fashion she may choose, as long as it does not cause physical harm to someone else, which may not and must not be overridden by anyone. So I repeat, you are all divine beings created in love, as eternal and individuated aspects of the one God, Source, Love, or whatever label you use to address the one, and separation from your source is utterly impossible. Nevertheless, as humans in form, you do experience yourselves as individual separated beings, and therefore believe yourself to be susceptible to attack, sickness, injury, and death. And of course, your human forms can and do encounter exposure to various dangers, and because nothing in form can avoid aging, decay, and death, the death of your human forms is inevitable. Those who are listening to this message are aware that they were created by an infinitely wise and loving being, and trust that she will never cease loving them or terminate their existence. However, many still believe that after their physical death, that they will be subject to divine judgment, and possibly some form of punishment may then be imposed. The position I occupy of command gives me the authority to act on worlds where darkness is reigning. This action by me and the teams that work with me can in no way go beyond a certain range, that of free will. We never infringe it, because we honor the choices all of beings. In this case, we take care that your free will is not violated by entities that wish, for example, to make experiments in a world beyond what would be allowed by the manipulable zone authorizations through vibrations that are compact with the ideas of such entities. There is always a line that determines how far they can act, and when this line is reached, we arrive. Some beings who work with darkness respect free will, however, others do not. One of our tasks is to prevent the violation of your free will. However, when you vibrationally decide for love, such violation becomes impossible unless you leave gaps of insecurity and fear. In this case, it means that the light of love is not yet fully anchored in your heart, which causes the so-called ups and downs that you sometimes experience. Your planet Earth is in phase of ascension and polarity shift. Mother Earth will move into higher dimensions, as is happening now, dragging all kingdoms that live upon her. These changes affect not only your planet, but the whole universe. On the physical part, there are always movements that can compromise the material integrity manifested there. One of our roles is to ensure that those who live in the physical part are not affected. Those who, by free will, should not go through situations they did not choose. We use free will here because no creator of God goes through difficulties without itself having generated them, either directly or indirectly by using its right to choose. These physical movements are necessary as adjust to the new energies and purged out the old ones, such as the bodies of your surface human beings and all the other components of Earth Nature. Yes, I have already committed failures myself in my own situations when I had experiences in environments like the one you are now, and I was able to start over again. There is much nobility, my dear, in making mistakes, recognizing, and in a new way, redoing. This is how all of you expand, learn, and evolve your consciousness. You must not forget that you went to a very hostile environment, extremely different from the sublime environments you were used to. You cannot forget the heavy layers of dense energy that fell upon you when you entered these lower dimensions, and so on. Now, you are returning, and you need to be patient with yourselves and, of course, with all of those around you, even with the darkest ones. Have patience and conditional love and trust, because no one will be exempt from their responsibilities. I have said this before, and I'll always repeat, those who, despite all the warnings that they are receiving, still continue to project chaos and fear through the various means they manage, are being watched by us. I am in charge of this, personally. You have my word. Meanwhile, continue to work to imbalance your emotions. You are coming out of a big stress zone and entering a rebirth. Rebirth in which you will be able to walk more freely, wiser, and more aware of your steps. I know that for many of you now, the situations in your lives seem a little foggy, but stay calm. This is the result of the dust storm that was lifted. I needed to be lifted. It was the dust that was settling and you didn't realize you were walking over it. The crystalline waves being routed from your local sun are causing this effect, as is a connected fan that raises all the dust from the environment. So it is happening to the earth now, and you are in the middle of it. This dust will settle. Just stay calm and continue with your work. Everything will be fine.